You still horny after all these years?
Yes,
Good.
especially kind of lately because you haven't really been able to do much in the past couple of years. So I feel like I had a nice little break and I'm single right now. So I'm very excited when I finally get to touch people again.
Hmm.
It's been a minute. I feel like I'm starved.
How long you been single for?
A while now. I think about like a little over 9 months,
Okay.
you know?
That's
And
a
Not
long
crazy.
time.
I mean, I guess I kind of like being single too. So I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I'm still
do you
a
not
baby.
operate well single? Or you said you liked it.
I
Like,
like being single.
what's being
Yeah.
single like for you though? Are you finding guys by the pool or like where do you find these dudes?
I don't know. I can be single for a while. That's why I really like, shooting and being around people because I like controlled chaos. I like kind of when I feel in the mood for something. And then when I'm not in the mood, I really love to be left the fuck alone. I
Mm.
love my space and
Mm-hmm.
like my own energy. And I don't want people to disturb that. I hate controlling people. So I'm like, anytime somebody tells me what to do, I get immediately turned off. And I'm like,
A lot of people assume that porn stars are all party animals and they all want to be in the club all the time. The vast majority of porn stars that I know are kind of homebodies. And if you were
Mhm.
to ask them what the number one thing they like about being a porn star is that you get to go do your job and then you get to go be in your house and you don't necessarily
Yeah.
have to be mega social.
I don't think I know any girls in the industry that I've befriended over the years who ever really goes to the club. Like
No.
You
it's
definitely
just
do if they're just
Ew.
slipping your mind, but there's definitely a lot out there.
I don't know. I just feel like it's not like the you're right. It's like people assume that about those girls, but it's
I
just
feel like
hard workers is what I know the girls
yeah,
to be like.
the professional girls,
Yes.
like the long-term girls, like
Yes.
they have goals, and it's like you're not just gonna give it away to some random dude at like a bar. Like, ew. I don't think I've ever actually had a one night stand. Everybody that I fucked at least twice, unless it was like shooting or for content.
So you can fuck them the
Okay.
first night you meet them, but then you're gonna do it
Fuck it
again
again.
too.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, I've definitely fucked people the same day that I met them, but like if the sex is good, I usually want to have it again at least once.
Okay, but you fuck a random guy. He's got a 3-inch dick. He comes in 30 seconds.
Then no, I'm sorry. I am
Bye.
Smells
kind of
weird.
no, I am a size queen. That is something very porn
We
about
found
me.
a size queen.
Is
We
that
already had
bad? Some
one.
people don't like that.
Adam hates that I'm a size queen.
Well, she's just been freaking out about this Jesse Williams guy's dick getting leaked.
I haven't seen it.
We're not
I'll show
gonna,
you later.
yeah,
Okay, no, yeah.
Let's not get into it. It'll be
Honestly.
old news by the time this comes out.
Show me dick.
What year or where are you from? Let's start there.
I'm from Boston,
Hmm.
Dorchester, really.
Whoa.
But I've been around. Been around the block in Massachusetts too.
Wow.
Yeah. Ever been?
Probably the
Anybody?
most famous porn star from Dorchester. I'm gonna go out on a limb.
Probably.
I'm from Nashua, New Hampshire.
Oh, nice.
Right.
New Hampshire. How you
Mhm.
doing? Where are you from, Lena?
Me, I'm from
Glendale.
here.
Oh, you really?
Yeah, I wanted you to start talking in a Boston accent right back to
I
her.
know, I love
I'm
that.
waiting for it. I'm like, give it to me.
Listen, like I grew up talking the way that I talk. I don't like to necessarily like stigmatize the local
I know.
dialect because so many people like to make fun of it. And
Did you really talk like that growing up?
well, to be real, I don't barely even notice it because it's just super fucking normal to me. And I notice, especially when I hang out with people from New England, that it just comes out way more
Mhm.
intensely. But I don't really like to parody
Yeah.
my culture. You know,
My people.
that'd be like you're like, oh, you're from Africa, and you start doing a bunch of.
What the
It's like, yeah, I mean, even if you're from somewhere where they talk like that, you don't gotta like make a joke out of it.
I
You
don't
know?
think-
Every
that's the
time
same.
I'm with my family, you have to comment on how we're speaking to each other.
Oh, yeah.
So fuck you.
These Armos.
I mean, I like that. I don't think it's the same thing, like what we were just saying.
And just
but
like I guess we all say like the things are bomb. We always
Yeah.
describe
That's
things
just
as
one little piece of it. Yeah.
we say wicked, like that's wicked
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, I'd never heard that until I started dating him, and I was like, wait, what does it mean? And then he would say things are OD.
Your pussy is wicked bomb.
Yeah,
Wicked bomb.
wicked awesome pussy you got there.
Just making me giggle.
For the record, OD is New York.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Your pussy's OD.
Got it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, like I'm gonna overdose on it. Okay.
Ah.
You're from Dorchester.
Dorchester.
You spent your whole life growing up there until what age?
Pretty much. Off and on until I was about 18, and then as 3 months after I turned 18, I moved to LA.
To do porn.
No, just to kind of get out of fucking Massachusetts because I was one of the only people that didn't leave, and it's really cold and shit. I don't know if you've gone, but yeah, and I just wanted to see other things, do other things. I was an only child of a single parent, so like I had to like work really early, and I wanted to have like my own life and experiences and in a warm place.
That's interesting because I feel like so many people from New England, especially like from actual Boston, they love the culture of it and it just feels like home and it's hard to go away from that.
Yeah, well, the way we kind of like joke about it, the way I kind of do is like East Coast, I love the people, hate the weather, and on the West Coast, I love the weather, hate the people.
That's real.
Do you really?
Not really, not really. You're from here. No, I
Really,
swear.
really. I mean, it's okay. It's like already a stereotype of LA. I'm not gonna hate on you for
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
But how long were you in LA before you got into porn? Like, how long did you stay a normal person?
yeah. Well, I started stripping at 19.
Oh,
So
okay.
I started in
And that was
sex
here?
work at 19. Yeah.
And were you hoeing around while you were still in Boston?
Not really. Oh, people don't believe me, but I was a virgin until I was 18 and moved out to LA. Because
Wow.
I didn't trust that look. Because I also like really liked very sexual, like the idea of good sex. And I didn't think that anybody in high school kind of knew what they were doing and they didn't have that kind of energy that I had. And I also didn't want to risk getting knocked up like really young either. So it was like a lot of this like mental stuff. And then when I was free, I was like, I'm free. Let's go.
Were you hot
I think
at a
so.
young age? Were you getting that kind of attention from dudes?
I think so. I mean, I made a lot of money when I was 19 stripping, so I guess I was okay at least as a teenager.
Who did
Right.
you lose your virginity to? Was it someone who went to the club?
No, actually, it was like this cute little Japanese kid that I just like met who's like coming out of an acting class, and I was like, "Show me around," and he was
Wow.
like, "Okay."
That's
And
so quaint. That's so nice.
I know it was cute, but like the sex wasn't great, so it didn't last very long. Like I can hold out on having sex with people, or get to know them, or not have sex at all if we're hanging out. But if we are having sex, if we're in that kind of zone and it's like not very good, it fucks with my head and I can't stick around.
Yeah,
So
I feel
that's
that.
kind of shitty. I'm
These
sorry.
poor bastards out there.
Sorry.
What should they do though if they're bad in bed and they know it?
I mean, well, that guy in particular, I'm so sorry. I'm not going to put him on blast terribly or say his name or anything, but
It's
like,
the guy from like 30 years ago, like
No,
the
it's
Japanese kid walking out of an acting class.
No,
You
yeah, I
think
just
he's
like
watching?
found him on Santa Monica Boulevard, and no, because after I think like the second or third time we did it, I sat up. Swear to God, I was like, I don't want to do that again.
Wow.
At all,
Verbatim,
ever,
verbatim.
with you.
Yeah, I felt kind of bad about saying, but that's exactly how I felt, and yeah, we didn't do it again.
But
That's-
you knew, even with your little experience, like what good sex was supposed to be like. Because I
Yeah.
feel like when I lost my virginity, I knew it didn't feel good, but I don't think I would have known how to have made it better.
Yeah, I
You
think it's just
know?
about feeling good. Yeah,
Yeah.
like if you don't like feel that energy, if
Yeah.
you're not like really intense with it or like really have this connection, or I don't know. I also like when people get like really sweaty and like really like, into it and like all over each other and like you're exploring each other and experiencing. I'm not very good when somebody's very tentative, but I think he might have also been a virgin. So I think I don't know.
It wasn't his fault.
It wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault. I'm sorry.
And
It was
another-
me.
Another thing is you're listening to a bunch of grown-ass people in their 30s who basically have had sex for a job, so we have a very certain outlook on it. If you're like 18 and your first sexual experiences are awkward, that's to be expected. Like,
Yeah, of
it's,
course.
this is the kind of thing that it's going to take you a while to get any sort of control over. And most people are really not meant to have sex on camera. So, you shouldn't hold yourself to that standard necessarily.
Yeah.
I have yet to hear like a really fantastic losing my virginity story.
Me too, honestly.
You know?
Mm,
I feel
Yeah.
like no one describes it in any sort of magical ways.
Mine was terrible. I don't even know if I've ever talked about mine on camera because it was so bad and it just would be a whole
Do
thing.
you want to tell us?
Yeah, yeah.
No, now's not the time.
You can become therapist
I'll do it
right
for your
away.
channel on your podcast.
Oh, okay.
My first time in porn though was like really fun. The first few times I had sex on camera, super easy, super fun. Like
So you put a complete amateur with a pro, all of a sudden you start having a good time.
yes, yeah.
But how did you get
Pros
there?
are
How did you
pros.
get into porn?
Stripping first for a few years, really like that. Started doing like teasy bullshit for like Playboy TV, and then I started doing cam work for their cam company, and then in there I started doing like softcore and girl, and then I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna do this, I really want to like do this, and I was always kind of interested, and yeah, so I kind of went from like the girl like TV shit to let's do some porn. I contacted my own agents. I just like walked in and I'm like, kind of want to try this out. Let's see how it goes.
So
And
you never at
Wow.
any point
Mhm.
felt like it was out of your hands or you were being taken advantage of. You were always the one taking charge of the situation.
Yeah, I mean, I also take a lot of pride in that. Like, I walked my own ass into the strip club when I was 19. I auditioned. I called my own agents when it came to fucking like getting into fucking. Yeah, no, that was all my shit. I didn't have a boyfriend anytime I started doing anything in
It's
sex
usually
work.
the boyfriend's like the gateway into these things, so that
Kind
is
of.
pretty surprising and a little bit different of a story.
The pseudo recruitment.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
But-
no.
You two talk to a lot of girls who basically at 18, 19, 20, like very soon after they become legal, where they just know. They know they're meant. They don't mind having sex in front of people or they don't mind being naked in front of people. And they just like, we've talked to a lot of girls who just kind of know at a very young age. And that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I had never in my life considered it as like a job possibility. I didn't,
We
you
talked to
know.
a lot of women too who like didn't think about it until they were like 38, and they were like, "Fuck, I want to do
Yeah.
porn." Yeah.
How did you get into shooting content? Or are you guys together? I don't know this at
We
all.
had met but right before I started doing the private Snapchat thing, but like we met because I had like a good amount of followers on Instagram and I was just posting like, bikini type photos, but I'd never considered it. It was more like my fans on my small page were like, "Hey, I would pay for your nudes." And then so
Yeah.
then it was like, "Oh, maybe I should make nudes," you
Hmm.
know? But
I
I feel
love
like a
that.
lot of girls get into it like that now, or it's like the
Mhm.
opposite where they know that girls have OnlyFans, so then they try to get followers just to make an OnlyFans.
Yeah, that is kind of the new thing,
Yeah.
right? Like kind of being semi-safe just to see how big you can be safer work to like get over to that not safer work.
Yeah.
Well, especially because it feels like growing on Instagram while also posting like promiscuous looking stuff is so dangerous that it's
Mhm.
kind of like girls want to get to a certain level before they then start alluding to the OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I feel like most guys just assume that if they look you up now and put OnlyFans, there's some link is gonna pop up.